Here are some of the top variety coins that sold at auction during this year's Central States Numismatic Convention. Let's kick things off with a great Lincoln cent variety coin from the Modern series. A great look at a fully red example of this 1970s large date double die Obverse memorial cent. This variety is in reality a lot scarcer than it's given credit for, with extremely impressive doubling to be found on the date, on Liberty, and the letters of In God We Trust. This is where the doubling is without a doubt the strongest and the most eye-catching. This coin was graded by PCGS as MS65 Red, and during the auction it sold for $4,560. A fantastic wheat cent variety that can be found on the 1941 Lincoln penny is this double die Obverse coin, where extremely bold doubling can be seen on the letters of In God We Trust, doubled dramatically towards the right of all of the letters. Not only a great variety, but a stunningly beautiful example of this coin as well, earning its MS66 plus red grade from PCGS with a final price at auction of $5,040. Legend holds it that when the Kennedy half dollar was approved for production in early 1964, JFK's widow and former First Lady Jackie Kennedy was consulted and asked to approve the final design. As the story goes, her only critique was that the former president's hair lacked sufficient detail, and so the accented hair 1964 Kennedy half dollar was brought into being, differentiated from the regular coin by additional detail on the hair, as well as a broken or missing serif on the eye of Liberty. This example was graded by PCGS as proof 68 deep cameo, and at auction managed to raise $7,200. In 1968, the US Mint shifted production of proof coins to the San Francisco Mint. As such, all regular proof coins after that date should by rights have the S Mint mark added to the design, denoting the coin's origin from the San Francisco branch mint. But every now and then a mistake creeps in where the S Mint mark was not punched onto the working die intended to be processed for proof coin production. In such a rare case, we get a coin like this, No S 1971 proof Jefferson nickel without the S Mint mark, graded as proof 69 deep cameo by PCGS and sold at auction for $8,100. 1976 marked 200 years since the Declaration of Independence was signed, and in order to celebrate the occasion, the US Mint showed up with no fewer than 3 circulating commemorative coins. Amongst them was this bicentennial quarter dollar. This 1976 D quarter, though, displays fantastic doubling on the letters of Liberty that makes it a sought-after double die variety coin. Graded by PCGS as such with a grade of MS66 allowed it to sell at auction for $8,400. There are few coins that manage to attain the type of widespread notoriety that the 1969 S double die Obverse Lincoln penny cent has accrued. The 1943 copper cent and the 55 double die Obverse are probably in the same league in terms of desirability for collectors, though, with its distinctive and very bold Class 1 doubling affecting all Obverse design elements. This example of the coin was graded by PCGS as XF45, and during its turn on the podium, the auctioneer's gavel fell for $13,200. Alright, so this 1849 Seated Liberty half-dime variety coin is a bit of a contentious issue, as no broad consensus over the variety's nature has been reached, although it most certainly is an overdate. The Cherry Picker's Guide lists the coin as an 1849 over 8, while PCGS labels the coin as a 9/6 variety instead, and there are other less likely theories also being promoted in the collecting community. Either way, it is a known variety with an excellent provenance from the Simpson and Bender collections. This PCGS MS68 coin was sold for $16,800 at auction. It's really not an exaggeration at all to refer to the 1955 double-die Obverse Lincoln penny as the most famous variety coin in the US series. The coin is probably what introduces most collectors to the very concept of a variety coin to begin with, and its initial discovery in the very same year as its release ensured that we still have access to high-grade examples today, like this MS64 red coin from PCGS with CAC approval atop, that at auction managed to secure a final price of $17,400. The Indian Head Cent series is one that is beset with repunched date variety coins of nearly every description. Not a complaint, mind you, it's a very dynamic series to collect specifically because of this fact. Here is an 1888/7 variety, where you can see the base of the initial 7 just peeking out from below the 8. But a little easier to spot on this coin actually is a cud on the rim of the coin just above the E in United. I've yet to see a copy of this coin that does not display this die cud, so you can use that as a sort of a cheat code to find this variety. A little more easier, at least. This example from PCGS was graded as AU53 and sold at auction for $19,200. The Lincoln Cent was launched in 1909 to commemorate the centennial celebrations of the birth of the nation's 16th president in 1809. And right off the bat, there were a handful of attractive variety coins to look for. This is a fairly strong double-die Obverse cent, where clear doubling can be seen on the last few letters of Liberty, as well as towards the right of the numbers on the date. Oh, and I forgot to mention that this variety appears on the 1909 VDB penny specifically. This coin was graded as PCGS MS67 plus red, placing it in the coveted Pop 1 position in the population report. It was sold at auction for $31,200. The famous three-legged buffalo nickel is next. This variety can be found on the 1937 D buffalo nickel, where the reverse die was either damaged or worn down from overuse in order to achieve the mintage figure of 17 million coins. A rather large number for the Denver Mint at this particular time in history. The die was then polished in order to try to remove the damage or sharpen the details, and in the process the bison's front leg was inadvertently removed as well. Graded as PCGS MS66, this stunning gem was sold at auction for $36,000. One of the best known varieties, not that there are too many to choose from, mind you, in the St. Gaudens Double Eagle series is the 1909/8 overdate coin. On this coin, you can very clearly see that the last 9 in the 1909 is struck over an existing number 8. This is especially evident just above the tail of the number 9. This very nice high-grade example, authenticated and slabbed by PCGS as MS65, was sold at auction for the sum of $45,600. The 1856 S/S Type 2 Indian Princess small head gold dollar coin is a very bold variety coin on an already relatively rare coin, with an overall mintage of just 24,600 coins. It is the only Type $2 struck at San Francisco, as well as the only issue for 1856 at all, though the type was only minted for 3 years, with the Philadelphia mint in 1854 and 55, Charlotte, Dahlonega, and New Orleans only minting it in 1855. Adding to the coin's mystique is the fact that it was recovered in 2014 from the wreckage of the SS Central America, and is today tied for the second finest known for the type, graded by PCGS as MS64+, with the Ship of Gold label and a pinch of California gold dust. It sold at auction for $75,000. Subscribe to WNN and I'll see you in the next video. For the World Numismatic News, I am Numisman saying thank you for watching, keep collecting, and have a fantastic day.